Hey everyone, I'm Steve Nash.
And I'm Felicia, and this is our review of Carpe Astra.
Sees it. That's lovely. Yeah, thank you for that. Gonna have a couple bears in the cave.
I got him. No worries.
Okay, awesome.
We're team, Steve. That's
We
what
are.
team members do for one another.
High five! Very nice.
Very nice.
In Carpe Astra, players are trying to obtain the most influence inside each of the guilds. Inside the box you'll find tiles which will form the playing area, network cards which are used to gain influence inside a guild, Slander cards which are used to remove influence from another player, event cards which give bonuses to players who complete a certain event, credit tokens which are used to buy tiles, cards, etc., a Senate tile and player tiles, influence tokens from each of the guilds, wooden tokens for each player, and some nice character cards and summary cards.
Here's how to set up the game. Each player chooses a color and receives the 5 wooden pieces of that color, the colored player tile, 5 credits, 2 random network cards, and 2 of the influence tokens from their color. Shuffle the events, networks, and slander cards to make 3 decks and set them aside. Then shuffle the tiles and randomly place them according to the images shown in the rulebook. The playing area will be different depending on the number of players playing. For this review, we'll show you a 3-player game. So place the Senate in the middle, surrounding by guilds, and each player places their player tile at the corners. The remaining tiles are shuffled and you flip over 3. Place face down 10 event cards in a row. The game is played in 10 rounds. So this will also be used to see how many rounds are left in the game. Turn over the second and third event cards. Each player now placed a wooden token on their player tile and the game can begin.
A player's goal is to complete their network cards using the tiles and their wooden tokens. To complete a card, you must have wooden tokens on each of the symbols on that card. But there's the tricky part. Your tokens must be adjacent to one another and you must have one at least on the Senate or on your home tile. But that's not all. You can have 2 wooden tokens on the same tile. If you do manage to complete a network card, you get the influence token of one of those guilds. At the end of the game, the player with the most influence in each guild will get lots of points. Let me explain the actions you can do in your turn. You can spend a credit to draw 2 cards, then discard 2. They can be from either decks. You can spend a credit to take one of the 3 face-up tiles and place it wherever you want on the board. You can spend a credit to change the face-up tiles for new ones. You can place or move 2 wooden tokens anywhere on the board as long as you don't have 2 on the same tile. If you spend a credit, you can place or move another token. And you can spend a credit to flip a tile 180 degrees as long as there's no other players on it. Once you're done doing your actions, you hand in your network card if you completed it and gain 1 influence from a guild on that card. At the end of your turn, draw up to a hand of 2 cards. Each player does 1 turn like this and then the round ends.
Once each player has done a turn, you remove the current event card. In the first round, it's a blank one. Now flip over the third card. The second round now has an event card. Let me explain the event cards. You have the one that gives you credit if you complete a card with one of those guilds on it. For each one, you'll get a credit. The other event cards will give you an extra card to draw from at the end of your turn if you completed a card with one of those guilds on it. So event cards are like little bonuses which come in handy. To complete a Slander card, you must do the same as a network card, but instead you must have one of your wooden tokens on an enemy player's tile instead of your home tile. If you complete a Slander, you get to remove an influence token from that player, corresponding to a guild on that card. You can easily see what cards other players are holding, and you can check what your cards are since the network cards have a plus sign, and the Slander cards have a negative sign. Once all players have done a turn in round 2, remove the event card of that round and flip over the third event. Now play round 3, and so on until the last event card is flipped.
At the end of the last round, you calculate points. Whoever has the most influence in one guild gets 4 points for each guild. The second most will get 2 points for each guild, so you're always trying to complete sets of influence while destroying the other player's sets. It's a really good game, full of strategy and player interaction. When it's your turn, you'll feel like you're trying to figure out a puzzle. The artwork is nice, kind of like sci-fi comic books, and the board is random every game. The rulebook is great with lots of examples and images. The tiles are a little weird. We couldn't figure out whether they're tents, planets, buildings, etc. But overall, the production quality is good. The gameplay is fun and challenging, and we'd play it again for sure. Carpe Astra gets an 8.5 on 10 from us. If you like puzzle solving, strategy, and sci-fi, you need to get this game.